A team consisting of a model and a fashion choreographer, the editor of Time Out magazine, and the administrator of the most popular Bhutanese Facebook page brings you Project Bhutan. This project is the first of its kind in the country where children and young adults are immersed in an intensive course, not just on fashion but also grooming and confidence building. The project has struck a chord not just with youngsters but also with parents. Talking Matters gets together with the Project Bhutan team to find out how that happened. So Sonam, tell me how it is that you conceived of an idea like Project Bhutan actually.
What happened was, for our second issue, we thought we wanted to do something really different, and we had one of the models go down to who was in Bangalore to be groomed through Mr. Gibak's Flame Fashion Studio, and the result was a transformation, something that had never been done before. And my creative head, Mr. Larry Kamba, he could vouch for me as well, because the number of responses that we got on the social media on Bhutan street fashion, it was overwhelming. So I thought, why can't we do this, in Bhutan? Because the youth, they are ready. They need a platform to showcase their talent, and they need just the opportunity. So then we got in touch with Paljo, and I informed Larry Kamba as well, who's the pioneer of Bhutan street fashion, and we got this thing started here in Bhutan.
Paljo, what was your feeling? I mean, we don't have an established modeling industry as such in Bhutan. So what was it like? I mean, Sonam felt that Bhutan was ready for this. The young people are ready for such a project. What about you? What did you come in thinking?
I was back, say about 4 years ago, 2008, when I organized a charity show for Azisangi Chodan. She has an NGO called Renew. So we had organized a charity show wherein we channelized all the monetary benefits, whatever we got from the show, for a social cause. But then I was a little skeptical, because I saw fashion from the plane of just being a charity or a voluntary kind of an event. But then again, when I saw it with, of course, Karma Wanchu's initiative in Bhutan street fashion, and I came to find out that the whole concept of fashion has become very enterprising, and most of the youth are inclined towards fashion. So I thought of that, and exactly at that point of time, he sent me a model down there, and when I groomed her for about 20 days, we shot a very impressive portfolio, and it was more like a rage out here. So that's when I decided, I think I should come and do something like what I've been doing down in Bangalore. Some sort of a grooming thing or one-of-a-kind project, which has never been done here in Bhutan.
We'll talk about what's happened so far. I mean, it's been 2 weeks into this project, but first let's bring in Bhutan street fashion as well, Karma. I mean, you've done these photographs before, worked with young people before. What do you say? Do you think that more young people need to get excited about something like Project Bhutan?
Initially, like I told you, we would look up to Western magazines and images as inspiration. So it was important that we had our own we had our own place where we could look up to people as inspiration within our own country. So with the start of Miss Bhutan and having our own local celebrities, and also my page is about having someone's own individual perspective and style. That's why Bhutan street fashion come up on the page, and that's how I think people sort of had a liking towards the page or could relate to the page. So, and that's pretty much how
And you have managed to actually, because you already had that audience of young people, so it was easy for you to reach to them about Project Bhutan as well.
Yes, the reach is pretty much easy for me because of the number of fans that I have on the page. But the other side, it's really important for us to work with people who are on the same wavelength and who has the same drive and just to have it. I think even more than me at the moment. So
I would say, back then when I was in 2008, the organizing was a little haywire. But then I feel now I have a solid team wherein I can, we come from our own field of expertise, and he's very good with marketing. He's an actor, of course, and he's got his magazine, to promote in a big way. Yes. He's got a good global reach as well. And me, of course, I'm a groomer, and I make sure that I drill them. I drill all my participants, whoever participates in Project Bhutan, whoever's coming for my grooming session. I make sure that they're something next to perfect.
You've done this before as well. I mean, you're based in Bangalore. You've been there for a couple of years now as a model yourself, and of course a fashion choreographer, and now you're a groomer as well. What's it been like, the experience for you actually outside of Bhutan?
Experience has been challenging. It's been challenging. I would call it a cutthroat competition, especially modeling. You might be just seeing the glamour side of it, but then when you actually are in the field, there's so many things that you really need to work on. You need to work on your physique, you need to work on your speech, you need to work on your body language, everything all together. Especially when you go to a place like Bombay or Mumbai, as you call it. The competition is so cutthroat that everyone who's got a good face and a good height wants to be a model.
Well, what's kept you going then? I mean, we have something called Project Bhutan here, this project happening. There are a lot of young men who actually look up to you. They want to follow your footsteps. I mean, we had Kelly Dodgy before, who was, of
Yes.
course, one of the first Bhutanese models who really made
Yes.
it big as well. And but what would you say to them then? They have a future in spite of this cutthroat competition that
They do
exists.
have a future. They do have a future, but I would see that they really work on their personality. Because if you might be having the best of height, the best of physique, and the best of everything of physical feature you're talking about. But when it comes to your speech, and if you're really not up to the mark, everything goes down the drain. So I would really say that you have to work on yourself as a total package.
It's very interesting for me when I attended one of your sessions because I came with the view that this is just superficial, it's just about the exterior. But then I came in and then there are a lot of young adults and then very, very small kids who actually enrolled in this course because they wanted confidence, they wanted to present themselves as being really confident people. So it was very interesting for me to actually observe that when I
Right.
came in.
Project Bhutan, I would say, we don't have any restriction as such. Normally if you're having a beauty pageant, you have criteria that you need to, be eligible to participate in the contest. But as in this case, Project Bhutan, we don't have any age bar or any age restriction. It's basically for all people of all walks of life to come in, partake. And in fact, in Bangalore, I have my students ranging from 4 years old to about 80, 90 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really living your
Exactly.
life to the fullest if
You
you're
would
80.
call them fashion frenzy grandmothers and grandfathers.
But this is interesting, the kind of people, I mean, even the age groups on them, the kind of people who've registered for this project. If you could tell us the kind of people who've come in their ages.
We have young children, we have teenagers, we have young adults, and all of them are driven not just because of a sense of fashion and because of the interest in modeling, but also because they want to develop themselves. Some of them that we've seen progress over the period of about 2 weeks now. You first see them, they are very shy, and it's like they're in a little cocoon. And now that you see the progression, you feel very satisfied because now they have that, as in Bhutanese you say, pop. They're already ready to pose in front of the camera, and they are more bold, and they've been able to come out of the shell. So it's for people also who want to improve themselves to be beautiful both inside as well as outside.
But did you expect this turnout? I mean, I was surprised to see that there were people who were actually working, fully employed people with very good jobs who've actually come in because they said they needed to do something more about themselves.
That's correct. We have, like you were saying, people from different walks of life who've registered, who've been enrolled in this grooming course. And when we asked them, why were you interested in this? They were saying, well, yes, I do have an inclination towards fashion, but I also want to develop my personality. I want to gain that confidence so that when I'm in a social setting, when I'm in an environment where I'm not familiar, I can easily make friends, I can talk to strangers, and it's not a problem anymore.
Karma, this must have been an interesting experience for you because you've been at the receiving end of fashion is so superficial, can't you do anything serious about life? So I mean, meeting people like this and running a page like Bhutan Street Fashion, what would you say then? I mean, is this the answer to all those critics then?
It kind of is because there was one of the participants in the Project Bhutan who is someone I know, and I was surprised to see him enroll for this program. So I told him, how did you come across this? And he was like, his mom actually saw the ad on Facebook, so his mom enrolled him because she felt like he needed a certain personality development, wherever. So I was asking him if he was happy with what he was doing, and he was saying it's actually helped him, and he feels pretty good about himself. And then once you feel good about yourself, you can actually give out to other people. I guess that's what he meant. And he's actually the cover boy for my page right now. So he inspires me when I see him.
No, I also wanted to ask you because you photographed so many people across many age groups. I mean, the set of people who actually came in for Project Bhutan. Have you noticed a change in the way they carry themselves, they present themselves in the 2 weeks that you've worked with them?
I think I've noticed a tremendous change. First of all, it's been like a group session, not just for them, for myself, where people were pouring out their weaknesses, and we had guest speakers like yourself, Dojidin, took it so more, and they were like looking up to these people, and then they had their own little insecurities going on, and it was similar to the ones they had. And then when they spoke about how you overcome them and how at the end of the day we're all human beings and how you need to love yourself and think, I learned a lot from those sessions. And talking about photographing people, I feel even now that I know there's 3 cameras all around me, to a certain extent I'm not myself, so I need to have that confidence coming from somewhere else. So I felt when I was taking this girl down to the rivers and making them take pictures, they were feeling conscious of themselves, because in the end you are kind of trying to project an image to someone else, and in that in itself is building up some level of your own personality. So in that sense, that whole process of taking pictures together as a team has helped them, I feel, grow to a certain extent, maybe not to a great extent, but to a certain extent.
Paljo, I wanted to ask you about your experience here in Bhutan, grooming Bhutanese, young Bhutanese, and grooming Indians down in India as well. Do you sense Bhutanese being more reserved than when you are in India? Because I've always known young Indians to be very outgoing, extroverted. So was that different for you when you're working here?
I had that sense of belief that Bhutanese would be a little bit of, kind of in a nutshell or something like that.
Quite self-conscious.
Exactly. And that's what I saw on the first day itself. But then again, I think they just need that bit of exposure and that bit of encouragement from us, saying that yes, you can do it. And if we give them that kind of an encouragement, believe me, the passion is very, I cannot explain, there's no words for that. They're very comfortable after that. After you give them that sort of an encouragement and you keep telling them, yes, you can do it, I'm there to help you out. I'm sure, it's been really great, in fact.
If you could actually describe to me one key factor in their characters, in their personalities that needed a little bit of tweaking or push in the right direction, what was it?
They need to be extroverts. They have to be a little bit outgoing, of course.
They have the potential.
They have the potential. Only thing what they lack is the platform. They've been only seeing this on television. They've not been doing it practically. But someone should have come over here and done it. And I think Project Bhutan is some sort of looking into that, giving them a platform. I would call it a platform of talent recognition.
I see.
We are not over here. Of course, we're giving emphasis on fashion, but then again, we are here to also give emphasis on talent as a whole, be it singing or dancing or any sort of thing, whatever they have. So we are here to do that, and of course, come 16th, we're having a makeover show for them, where we're going to have we're going to project them on a big projector screen, and we're going to have a before and after kind of a sequence wherein they introduce themselves. And of course, they're going to come in for different sequences.
All these 5-year-olds also going to have that makeover session. Oh, this is so exciting. I love the word makeover. I think everybody gets excited.
No, I wouldn't call it a fashion show. A fashion show is something,
Yes.
okay, everyone has that
You're just walking
exactly.
with clothes
They
on
think
you,
that
nothing.
a fashion show is just,
Yes.
that normal thing, but we call it a makeover show.
Makeover show. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. You like that, don't you,
Right.
Sunam?
Like I was saying, Project Bhutan, what we aim to do is to make the person beautiful both from inside as well as outside, so that they can be the role models for people around themselves. You don't need to have Michael Jordans in the country. You yourself could be Michael Jordan in your own way, So that's what we aim to do.
But when you're working with people like this, do you sometimes, do you think it's a little challenging? Because we have this really young people who nurture these hopes and dreams of becoming these really wonderful models. They have Paljo too. There are boys there who are like, oh, we want to be like Achu Paljo, But it's difficult. In Bhutan especially, we don't have such a flourishing industry when it comes to this modeling and fashion.
That's correct. That's what we've been telling our participants. We are not magicians, We cannot do like abracadabra and within 2 weeks you're transformed, But it's a work in progress, And work in progress, so that we are giving you the basics. We're trying to polish the diamonds, that they are. And it's consciously doing it every day that you're going to reach your goals and your dreams. We didn't know a person like Kelly Doji would be there. We didn't know a person like Mr. Paljo Gabak would be there, But it's constantly following your dream, constantly following your passion that's made them successful. And Project Bhutan is the right start where you do get that.
You see yourself doing something like this again? This is the first time that you've done it. And from the response so far and the people you've interacted with, you see yourself doing this again?
Yes, that's correct. We are hoping to do another one-of-a-kind project, hopefully maybe in the summer. And in this way, we are going to raise the bar even more.
I can see more people coming out in summer. I mean, somehow the idea of having something in winter, it's cold, and then people want to stay at home. They don't want to come out in the evenings.
Namgay, the climate has been challenging. That's one thing. Of course, 10 days I would call it very short, and there's a lot of things that you need to learn in this span of time. That I would call it a very intensive course. And we have so many things to do. In fact, with the shoot at the Chincholing, then we have so many classes. We call it, like we have dining etiquette, you have ramp walk sessions, you have the still shoot etiquette, the film shoot etiquette, public speaking, oratory skills. We just had a good mind power session yesterday with Mr. Rana. It's been a whole, different, all kind of a different experience. In fact, for us as well, and also for the students.
This Project Bhutan does culminate in something tangible at the end of the 10 days.
We are looking at a start off. This should be something to give it a kick, to give it a push. I'm looking at shifting my base. I've always been searching for a reason to come back to Bhutan, But then again, I told you I've been skeptical about this thing, like thinking that fashion is just a voluntary and a charity thing. But my main motive, and of course I would think Sonam and also Karma also have the same motive, that we want to make fashion a profession here. Now, fashion not only from the point of being a model. You can either be a fashion designer, you can also be a photographer, you can also be a model, of course, a fashion choreographer, a groomer. There's so many things you can be, a stylist.
So basically, actually set up a proper industry, a fashion industry.
We want to set up an industry wherein, of course, we would come up with good proposals and send them to business houses, wherein if there's any requirement for models, we are now starting off at Project Bhutan. We're going to build up a good database of models, wherein we can use them for different purposes. Sonam also has his own production house called the Yarki Production, and we're also looking at casting some of the participants from this present batch what we have in Project Bhutan. So it's giving them publicity in every ways.
I just wanted to ask Karma actually, because you have this huge identity as Bhutan Street Fashion and you're promoting Project Bhutan. Yeah. So how did you give an identity to Project Bhutan that was separate from Bhutan Street Fashion then?
Well, because of the linkage, because I'm already a part of the team that they have set up, it's easy for me to link them together, because initially it started off as a fashion project. But like they said, it has many other aspects to it. That's just the tip of the iceberg. So yeah, that's pretty much how I came into the picture, because I was pretty well established in my own little field, not that I'm established. And he was just coming in from India, trying to find a ground. And he's established position in his own field in engineering industry, being an actor and all that. So the combination was good.
You're pretty much freelance. I mean, you've worked earlier with Sonam on Time Out. You're still working on Time Out magazine, both of you together. What was the experience like for you? I mean, because this is, there's a certain procedure that you're doing. There's a certain process involved. Was it different for you than working with Project?
It's like I've never worked in a magazine before. I've never taken courses on how. But the good thing about the two of us is when we say let's do something, we just do it. We don't care whether we know or not, because towards the process of when we hire, and I think you need to be driven at the end of the day. I just feel like you need to be driven no matter what you want to do, because there will be people who are experts in their own field who will help you along the way. And they will benefit, you'll benefit, and it's all about collaboration, because I've actually worked with people who have sort of worked with me, but kind of it backfired. It didn't really help each other because they had their own motives. So I don't think, especially in this field, this will not work at all.
So similar interests. I mean, you have to be in the same wavelength. That's what you're telling me. Sonam, you're not making any money out of this. I mean, the three of you are not making any money out of Project Bhutan. So, because there are people who feel, oh, well, you'll all come from very good backgrounds, so then there must be money involved in this. But there isn't. So at the end of the day, what is the aim then, if this is not going to be a money-making machine for you?
Well, at the end of the day, there are certain things that you do which is not tangible. Money cannot buy. And this is one of the few things that we are very passionate about. And we would like to continue this to make it sustainable. So like I was saying, it's not about the money. It's about doing something which your heart really wants, and doing it with passion, like Larry was saying. And if you set your mind to anything, anything is possible.
It's interesting that you're being attracted back, in fact, of the no money in this scenario.
Though it's like we all have regular job. Like he's got his travel agent and he's got his work back in India. He's here for vacation.
I was thinking, I would make Bangalore divide my time between Bangalore and Thimphu. So since my work really happens as its peak during the winter season, so I thought 6 months I stay in Bangalore and 6 months during the summertime, when of course the climate is good over here.
And not
I
as
just can't bear the cold.
Yes.
I would shift my base over here. But then again, after coming over here and with the experience in Project Bhutan and meeting people like Karma and Sonam, I've given it a serious thought that I permanently shift my base over here. You know, but I'm pretty much positive that we could do a lot of things, and of course, not only modeling, but all these professions, what I told you earlier, that we could make it a sustainable career for anyone who has got that passion towards it.
We will wait and see what you finally put up for us on Sunday. The end result of Project Bhutan, the first batch of Project Bhutan. Yes, I'm looking forward to it, and I wish you all good luck. And I look forward to the second round of Project Bhutan happening again. And Paudro, your comments are very, very significant, because I mean you are in the industry itself, and then for you to say that Bhutan is ready for something like this and for a serious fashion industry, I think young people will sit up and take notice. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.